What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my podcast. I just want to say I appreciate everyone that's been tapping in thus far. Shout out to all the dope ladies around the world. Shout out to all my fellas around the world that have been tapping in. I really appreciate all the love and support and the comments as well. I love getting everyone's takes on these topics, so keep sending them my way. I'm open for constructive criticism and your comments and your thoughts on these various subjects. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the topic today. By the way, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that like button so I can keep giving you guys videos like this. And today's topic is why being pretty isn't enough. And I'll repeat that. It's why being pretty isn't enough. Now, why do I always wanted to talk about this? And the reason being is, let me just speak to the fellas. I would say, many guys have allowed women to believe that being pretty is the only thing that is required. Right? So we're in this generation now where it's attention driven. Everything is attention driven. Attention is the new currency. So men have allowed women to believe that being pretty is the biggest way and the only way, and is the easiest way to have access to them. So basically, all that's required to have access for a female to have full access to a male is just using her looks and her looks alone. So, but if you look at the flip side, women make men work drastically to have access to them, right? They want to be entitled to use a man's time, his energy, his resources, and most important, his attention. They demand all those things from fellas, from men. Whereas women, all they think they have to do is use their looks. See, but this is the problem, and I wanted to speak about this because a lot of guys, you got to understand that attention, as I mentioned, is the currency. It's the current currency of the world we're living in right now. So the attention that you give someone, right, that's the energy. But that also shows that if you're just so quick to give your attention away, it can really show someone if you value yourself or not, or where you stand as far as integrity, as far as your purpose, right? As far as your values. You demonstrate that by where your attention goes, right? But if someone can just easily manipulate you just because of their looks, which is what women are doing nowadays. We see this in social media. This is a reason why a lot of women are able to monetize, right, so greatly. And I understand it's a form of business for them, you know, and they're going to monetize their looks to make money. And I'm not knocking any hustles, but this is the point what I'm saying. My point is, guys, you have to understand that less is more. And what I mean by that is that men, indirectly, men are, you're pretty much devaluing yourself. Each time you give exclusive attention to women and you give them full access to you based off their looks alone. So a lot of guys wonder, oh man, how are these women? We got these women making, get into the bag on social media, get into the bag on OnlyFans and, different networks like this. And guys are just, some guys just can't believe it. Some people just can't believe it. And, at the end of the day, what it comes to is, guys, you're the one that's giving the attention. And that might be your thing. You might be cool with that. That might be just your flow. And if that's your thing, that's your thing. But what I'm saying is that you can't cry about, if that's how you're going to float, you can't cry about why the system is the way it is today, or why women think the way they do today, why women have this entitled mindset, why you can't find anyone that has any substance. Right? Because guys, men, we're in control of that, right? We're in control of basically showing a woman attention or not. But women are monetizing off of the attention that's been given to them. Thus, indirectly, as I mentioned, you are continuing to devalue yourself, your integrity. So they have all this access to you just based off them looking a certain way, just looking attractive. And guys pander. Men continue to pander over and over again. Why? Because there's a lack of self-value. There's a lack of confidence, and insecurities continue to just plague these type of guys. So that leads to simping, that leads to being a beta male, and the list goes on. So how do we get out of this habit? And I will say this. When is the time gonna come when you're gonna say less is more? You know? Yeah, I see that I'm giving this exclusive devotion and attention to certain women, right? I'm investing all my time. I'm investing my resources. I'm investing my energy. Yet you're not getting anything back. When do you look at yourself and say, all right, it's time that I start moving differently? See, because humans, we are creatures of habit, right, guys? So fellas, you're creatures of habit. But there has to come to a point when you are demanding that a woman's looks is only going to get her inside of the door, right? But you have to demand more. Meaning, if you're willing to invest in her, is she willing to invest in you? Are you requiring substance? Someone that has good character? Someone that has a good personality? Or is it just looks? Or look at it from this way. Because I've said this before, but all these guys that are just pandering to women just based off their looks, you guys think that's gonna get you a chance with these women? But it never works. It never works that way. If anything, they continue to take more from you. They don't invest in you. They don't invest their time with you. If anything, they're just going to continue to take. And then next thing you know, you're pretty much soulless. It leads you to even, like I said, devaluing yourself. You don't feel good after. A lot of guys initially, because you get a picture or whatever you're paying for just to see these women, you feel like it's going to make you feel better. But right, that's always the initial that's the initial emotion that you feel. But afterwards, you don't feel good, right? And you create these habits over and over and over again, and before you know it, you've never been able to cultivate confidence because of these habits that have been in place for so long. You never stood back and listened to myself or others that are sitting here trying to pave the way and say, hey, guys need to step back, look at yourselves, and start valuing yourself. Start to look at your steps and valuing how you move in regards to showing attention to women. And When you're giving this type of attention to them, what happens? Well, of course, you don't have no purpose. Of course, you don't have no confidence. Of course, you don't have no integrity. All those things are lost. You've never worked on yourself, right? So those are habits that, guys, we have to understand and we have to get away from at some point. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, you know, I'm perfect and I never had a few simp moments. Of course, we all have. But this is the thing, as I said in my earlier podcast, is that smart men, right, or a smart person will learn from his own mistakes or her own mistakes, but wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So basically, I'm just giving game and just letting you know, yes, I've had some simp moments, things I've done that I wasn't so proud of, but the thing is, guys, we got to learn from each other, right? We got to learn from other people's mistakes, because once you start to do that, you'll understand how the world truly works, how women truly work, right? And then not only that, this is all about you being the best version of you. And that's the whole point of my channel. You being the best version of you. And the way you can do that is by exercising habits that work towards your purpose. Exercising habits that work towards you becoming your best self. See, but if you continue to pander, specifically on this topic of giving all of your exclusive attention to women who don't care about you, that all they care about is just your money, right? Your resources, your energy, you will never develop or cultivate any type of self-worth or become a high value man with those type of habits in place. So that's why I wanted to just talk about that, guys. And at the end of the day too, you want to increase your value, and also you want to attract people that are like-minded, right? Now, we like who we like. I mean, all men like pretty women, right? And women like good-looking men, right? That's just how it is. That's never going to change. But guys, what I'm saying is that can't be the only requirement that you have for a woman to get full access to you. That cannot be the only requirement, because this is what happens. Guys let's say you're lucky, because I'm not talking about what's possible. And things are possible. I'm talking about what's probable. So let's say you're lucky, and let's say you've been on your game and you've been trying to hunt down this particular person for so long, particular woman. Let's say you get her and you're just going based off of looks because you're just so attracted. Next thing you know, you finally get her. Let's say you get a date with her, what the case may be, and then you start to figure out that, dang, this person is not who I thought this person was. This person is not a vibe. This person's character is severely flawed. You know, all these little things you start to kind of figure out. And see, that's because these are signs that you could have picked up if certain habits were in place. If you required more for a woman, just like she does for a man. See, then you wouldn't run into these. You could have found out these red flags way earlier in the process, before losing your money, before losing your resources, before wasting your attention and energy. You could have learned all those things if you didn't ignore the red flags. And like I said, if you had certain requirements already set in place that show that you value yourself, you value your time, right? You value where you give your attention. All right. So I just wanted to speak about that, guys. We got to work on that, right? And it just starts by myself, and others. You know, we have to help each other continue to get better, continue to try to become high value men. And if that's the case, then the world will become a better place. So let's continue to do that, guys. I'm trying to help you guys out, help myself out as well, so that we can keep continuing to get better and better as time goes on, and thus, you know, attract the women we want and live a good life. All right. So I really appreciate everyone tuning in. I really appreciate the time you've taken to view my channel. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.